Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of the interview with the PSP candidates. And who do we have in the studio with us this morning? It's none other than Hazel Pua. And I'm sure most of you may find her recognizable because she's been in politics before, but now she is with PSP, right? Welcome Hazel to the show.
Thank you for having me.
People know a bit about you on your political career. You've been with another one or two other political parties, but now you are with PSP and together with Dr. Tan Cheng Bok. But the purpose of today's interview is to find out a little bit more about you on a personal side, so people can get to know you a little bit better. And of course, Hazel has prepared some pictures that she's going to share with us, right? And we will bring them up on the screen and just chat a little bit. Don't worry, I won't put her on the spot. So Hazel, which part of Singapore did you grow up in when you?
I actually grew up in a kampong in the Sembawang area.
Oh, in the Sembawang area.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had good memories when you were?
Yeah, well, I had a fairly carefree childhood, and you know, there was a lot of space to run around.
Yeah. In those days, right?
Yes.
So when we learned to I think learning how to ride a bicycle is one of those must-do things. Right?
Yes, exactly. All the kids in the neighborhood know how to cycle.
So you had crashes, I'm sure.
Yes. We were going uphill, downhill, crashing all the time. Yeah, it's
so
just
get
part of
scrapes and some bruises, but it's okay. It toughens up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe let's look at the first picture that Hazel has lined up for us. And who? Oh man, that's you, huh? Oh, la la. Look, what cute are you? And how old were you at that point in time? About a year old?
Under 1 year, yes.
Under 1 year, huh? Oh, so okay. Your parents still quite nice. Put you sitting on a chair. Because I've interviewed some of your other PSP colleagues, right? And most of them actually were like babies. You know, it was quite fashionable in those days, right? Almost naked. Some of them were butt naked. No, all of them were not butt naked. I mean, the parents put a diaper or something to cover the bum and all this. But it's really lovely. Wow, that's great. Okay, so that was you. So growing up in a kampong is something that you can reminisce about in today's context. No more kampong. And that kind of things that everyone knew everyone. I also grew up in a kampong. And there was no how do you call it now, boundary, you know?
Yes,
you can just
exactly.
go into each other's holes.
Yes. And our house, the door is open all the time until at night when you go to sleep,
then
you know.
You lock it,
yeah. And it's a very small kampong. There were only about like maybe 50 families there, and we're
50
all
families?
we're all related
small,
to one another. In some way or another, either by blood or in-laws. All relatives in that whole
so the whole
kampong
was yours. Oh, okay. Let's see what's the next picture that Hazel has prepared for us.
Yeah, that's the kampong where I grew up in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the house that you?
No, that is actually a shop. That's the gate to our house. Yes, that's right.
Also, by then you had a titi already, huh?
Yes, that's
also
my younger brother.
One, Okay, what's his name?
Tiong Xiao. Tiong Xiao. I call him Tiong Xiao, but he is also known as Richard to his friends.
So what's the age difference between the two of you?
3 years.
Oh, 3 years. And then after that, no more siblings?
Yeah, just the two of us.
What, you mean your parents that time already had the stop at 2 policy?
Yes,
really,
exactly. Yes.
Oh,
that was the time when they had the stop at 2.
Stop at 2, huh?
Yeah,
it became
so
too
very
successful.
one.
So, which primary school did you go to?
From primary 1 to 3, I was in a school called Pei Ying 小学. Then primary 4 to 6, I went to Aitong.
So your first language was Mandarin?
Yes, actually for me, first language was Mandarin all the way from up to secondary school.
Okay,
yeah, from
so
primary
where
1
did
to
you
Sec.
go
4.
for secondary school?
I went to St. Nicholas Girls.
Is it St. Nicholas a convent?
Yeah, yes it is. So it's a girls' school. So
you did Mandarin at first
language. It's a SAP school. So we did both English and Chinese at first language level.
What was your main language you used for communication back in those days?
I grew up in a household that speaks Mandarin, and my primary school I was doing Chinese as first language.
Right.
So to me, at that time, I use Chinese. I speak Mandarin to my friends and family, and only during English classes, then I'll actually use English. So I wasn't really an English speaker. 对。
哇，这样子的华语基础不是很好咯。我的很。不知道可以不可以讲是很烂的啦。Because I have a Peranakan background lah, so we all don't really use Mandarin. So what about dialect? What's your dialect group?
Hokkien, but I don't really speak it very well. Yeah, only when I speak to my grandma, then I'll use Hokkien.
Hokkien but your mom and dad are both Hokkien or your mom is a different
they're both Hokkien also.
哇！你講都冇參水嘅嘛，一百%是福建人嘛嗬，我哋唔要講福建嘅咧。
你香港淡薄啦。
淡薄啦嗬 ，because you use more Mandarin, right?
Yeah.
But with 阿媽 no choice because she cannot speak Mandarin much lah, so then you are forced to.
Yes, that's
so
right.
So is 阿媽 still around?
Yes, she is.
Wow.
But she's wheelchair bound by now.
How old is she?
90 plus.
哇，90幾歲了啊！哇，長命百歲咧，很好哦。But she's not that mobile anymore lah. But what about, is she lucid or?
Yes, very much so.
Oh.
Yeah, which is why being wheelchair bound actually to her is she's.
受了一個打擊這樣。
Yeah.
Yeah lah, true lah. But 90幾歲 if she's still lucid, is very good
Yeah.
Nowadays you have people in their 40s or 50s already beginning to show early signs of dementia, you know, quite scary. So what about mom and dad talking about that? I mean, your ama, what about mom and dad? They're still around. I'm sure she's ama is still around because if your grandma lives to 96, you will live until 150.
Correct. Yeah, I need to save up a lot of money.
So I mean, where's mom and dad? They stay with you or?
Yes. In my house, there are like 4 generations, starting from my grandma, my parents, me, my kids. Yeah.
Wow, amazing! 4 generations living in the house.
Yes.
So Amma is also staying with you. Your parents are staying with you, lah. Oh, that's wonderful. So after second, any other? What's the next photo you have for us? Let's look at the next photo coming up. Oh, that's you and your.
That's the house.
Pretty close with your brother, huh? You were like taking pictures with him all the time, huh? And that's your house.
Yes, that's the house I was living in. It's the house actually my grandfather built himself.
Oh, okay. So your house was the what kind of not the attic roof, like the zinc roof,
No, it's zinc roof. It's cement at the bottom half. Then wood, and then after that zinc top.
Right. That means 比较有钱了那个时候了，然后变成一半是 cement 的啦，好像一半以前那些很穷的 very poor 啦 ，the whole house all attic and bamboo only，and then 丢回修呢，都是靠建筑冇嘅。Today got house, tomorrow no house, you know that kind of thing. It happens a lot, no, in those days. So those attic because they're very combustible, those thatched roof. So yours is what they call the 沙梨厨啦, and then it's very noisy when it rains.
Yes, correct.
Because the rain.
But okay lah, I quite like the sound.
It's quite fun, Yeah. Okay, so that was a picture of you, Richard lah. It's easier for me to remember.
Okay,
Richard,
sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what's the next picture you have. Ah, there with you, your titi again.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So in the background, right, you see some fish ponds there.
Ah, yes.
So my dad was a fish farmer. So he actually rears guppies.
Oh, those ornamental fish.
Yes,
right. Lovely.
Yeah, and then sells those. Yeah, until our land was actually acquired by government.
Acquired, huh? So that is a sensitive thing. Acquired. A lot of people's land were acquired, and they felt, some of them felt that they were shortchanged, they were not paid the market rate. Talking about that, I also remember I have friends who stayed in the Lim Chu Kang and Choa Chu Kang area, and then what happened was they started when they knew that their land was going to be acquired, they went to plant more coconut tree, more papaya tree, more rambutan tree, because apparently that increases
there's a formula.
The value of the
exactly,
land,
they
right?
Count the number of fruit trees. So our village did the same thing as well. Everybody started growing fruit trees.
So your dad, how they pay your dad for every fish?
No, not fishes, unfortunately. No fish ponds, actually.
Oh, I see. So it was, wow, that means your dad, then what happened when you were acquired? Then he lost his business and everything?
Yes. He lost his livelihood at that point in time. So then subsequently, he actually went to work at a construction site.
I see. So just to delve a bit deeper into the land thingy, right? Then talk about the tenure of the land. Last time, all those were like freehold land.
Yes.
Then when the government took it over, they turned it into 99 years, right? Which is the HDB
flats,
lease decay problem. Because it was supposed to be an asset. They will forever increase. But we have found out that by the time reached 99 years, become kosong, zero. And then government take back. Then there's a big problem also. How to solve this sort of thing. So we'll leave it to your politicians to solve it. So your dad went into the construction line after that?
Yes, yeah. Actually, it was a relative who set up a construction company. So my dad, he needed funds, right? So he was raising funds around from all the relatives. So my dad also pitched in.
So your dad ended up working with the relative?
So he worked in the construction company.
You have memory, was it difficult for your dad from being an ornamental fish farmer to suddenly go and be in the construction business?
Obviously there's some adjustments that is needed, but my dad is the kind who doesn't complain.
Yeah, in those days,
yeah,
they're very
you know,
tough.
you just move on, get on with it.
Was mom a housewife or?
Oh, okay. Part of the time she was housewife, but sometimes she'll take on stints. She actually tried a lot of different jobs. She was at one time a bus driver.
Oh, your mom drives a bus?
Yes.
Wow, that is cool. I mean, she got the class 4 license.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Then she was also hawker, and she was also driving around a van selling bread. You know, as a kid, I would actually follow her around.
Yes.
You know that you know those vans, right? Drive to all the estates. Yes, then yes, correct. Yeah, then whoever wants to buy bread will come and
so
wave.
You'll slice and put kaya.
Yeah, then I will take the bread, run over to the house. And,
okay.
yeah.
Oh my, that's wonderful memories, Because in those days, there were no big shopping centers, so a lot of the business, you all do these sort of things, will come into the kampong and then sell to the people there. Right? You know, talking about that, right? I remember in those kampong estate was in the Chestnut Drive area. You know, that time there was kampong, and then one day 4 or 5 hawkers will come, you know, on motorcycle One will sell a beleko, those who remember like a sticky caramelized thing.
Yeah,
and then after that, got one guy will come keropok. Then the Indian guy will come on his motorcycle, sell all the jam tau loki. So one day I got 4 or 5 people. And then you know, families were very poor, right, in those days. And then I'm the 9th child, you know, in the family, the youngest.
Okay.
So I wasn't even born yet, you know. Then my brother, he will, you know, the hawker, every time the hawker come back, he want to eat, So he say, Mommy, can give me money to go and buy. Then the time so poor, how to give money? Then my mama got so angry. I said, go and ask him to be your father, then give you free. It's like a constant thing, no?
Yes, during those days.
You want to, you want it, right? But then cannot afford, So you keep badgering. You want okay, it's all like papa, lor. It sounded quite evil, right? But then, you know, the stress also of doing that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. But during those days, that's how they speak, you know, like, you're from the rubbish bin, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and especially because, like, we live in a kampong, I think your area also the same, where they had this, what they call night soil carrier, right? Bucket.
Yes,
so in those days, you know how the parents motivate the kids, right? You don't study, next time you go and tasai, you know, carry the night soil. Oh my God, not that it's anything unworthy, but it's like demeaning in a way. So that
unpleasant.
Yeah. So talking about that, right, there was once the guy spilled the thing in my kampong. Oh man, the smell was just unbelievable. Because they don't come every day, the bucket takes maybe a couple of days to fill up. And then it was like, oh man, that was an accident that was memorable for everyone in the kampong. So Hazel, those were like riotous moments when only people who live in a kampong will have these kind of memories.
Yeah, for us, the most memorable time was when we had a big python.
Oh,
yeah. Then the whole village came to try and catch the python. Yeah, so there were people with pitchforks, and then 2 men will be holding the tail, 2 men will be holding his head. Yeah, and then there was a big procession
so
through the village. Yeah, and then all the kids were all there. Wow, look, admiring the snake.
But it was slaughtered,
No, it was still alive when they caught it. So
but was it eventually?
I don't know how they dealt with it eventually. I was just a kid then, but I still remember that occurrence.
I thought you had like a python soup or.
No, I don't remember any python soup.
Any python soup. Your mom could have cooked it without telling you. Because it's white meat, so they mix it with chicken, and then it's supposed to be very good for complexion. So
are you speaking from experience?
Oh yes. In the kampong days, they caught the monitor lizard. So apparently I had very bad skin condition. So that one, after taking it until today, my complexion still. Of course, some people say cannot eat that kind of things, but that was in the past. But hearing you speak your English today, it don't sound like you're Mandarin speaking,
Yeah, well, actually, towards the later part of my life, I'm using English more often than I do Mandarin.
I see. So your Mandarin still there, or a little bit
还好啦。
太谦虚了啦，还好，华语基础这么好。Because you know. 那个基础已经打好了嘛，
对了，日常生活用语还可以，不过术用语就不行。
所以，比如说你去中国，应该是没问题吧？跟他们？
应该是没有问题。
我的华语，
社交方面，
我的华语就是没有水准的，好像跟人家这样沟通还可以啦，讲那些比较深刻一点的东西。
如果要讲工作上的东西，就不大行。
Can read contract can do all these things 还能够读啦。
读是没问题。
Yeah, because language is like any skill. If
Yeah.
you don't use it for
Yes,
too long,
you must
then
use it all the time.
You must revisit again. Just
Yep.
like riding a bicycle also. Yeah, okay. So after that, after your St. Nicholas, then you went to which JC?
Hua Chong JC.
Oh, another
so
one.
another Chinese.
Speak Chinese again. So you, that means almost up to your age 18, the JC those years, you were Mandarin all the way.
Yes, correct. I was Mandarin educated.
Okay.
Yeah, Mandarin Foundation.
Then what happened after you completed your JC?
Well, then I took up a government scholarship, PSC scholarship, to study in Cambridge University in UK.
Cambridge, don't play. Must got brain one, must be very clever, then can go to Cambridge. In case you all don't know, your GCE O level, that's called Cambridge Syndicate. They are the ones who set the question for all the Commonwealth countries.
Yeah.
So well, you must be a straight A student to get the scholarship.
Yes, yeah, I did get.
Beauty with brains. But a powerful combination. So in Cambridge, what was the course you were doing?
I did mathematics.
Mathematics?
Yeah, that's the subject that I really loved.
You love
Yes.
No,
so I chose.
Mathematics is actually an acronym,
What is it?
Mental abuse to humans.
Well, then I like to torture myself then. I still remember when I was in JC, they will give you tutorials and you solve it, right? So I'll finish solving all the tutorials, and then after that I would look at the questions. I create questions for myself to solve.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's how much I liked it.
Did your friends hate you?
Well, they didn't tell me.
Oh God, I mean, like, you are so good, right? Like they give you an exam, probably like 1 hour or whatever. You're probably like 50 minutes, you're done, then you're just...
No, actually.
Then the rest are like, Hazel's done? Oh my God.
Not at all. The papers are still very tough. Yeah, it's
okay.
just that I really do like solving questions.
You didn't want to make them feel bad, so you pretend to take longer to finish the exam. So it was a 3-year or 4-year program?
You mean university?
At university
3 years.
at Cambridge.
3 years.
Then did you go on to
No,
honors
because
or masters or whatever?
I was on a scholarship, right? So after 3 years, I had to come back and serve my bond.
Oh, and how long was the bond?
It was 8 years, but
so long.
But I actually served only 4 years, and then I left.
Must pay back?
Yes, I paid back half of the cost of my university. I think it was $60,000.
60,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those who, if you have a chance to go overseas to study, if your parents can afford, then I strongly encourage you to go and study overseas, because it really opens up your perspective.
Correct.
You're not like a frog in the well.
A whole new perspective opens up.
So was it fun for you when you were studying?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was one of the best 3 years of my life. And that's where I met my husband as well.
Oh, he's in the same course with you?
No. He was doing engineering, but same university.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He also took up a government scholarship. So before we actually left for UK, PSC arranged this camp where they put all those who are going to UK, all the scholarship holders who are going to UK together, so that we get to know each other, and then so that when we fly over, there are people we know there already. Yes, there's a support network system there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the unspoken reason for getting you all together is to hope that you all will become pak tor, and then get married, and then you are one of the success stories. For sure, they will not tell you, because they don't want you all to feel awkward, right? So they just pretend, so they got a support system. So, but maybe behind unspoken, the agenda is that maybe you all will become boyfriend, girlfriend, and true. So besides anyone else within there fell in love and romance blossomed?
I don't think so, actually. I mean, there were people going out, but I don't think any of them.
How big was this cohort when you all went to Cambridge? 10 of you, 12 of you?
Oh, Cambridge, is it?
Yeah, Cambridge.
Yeah, around 10. I can't recall the exact number. Maybe 10 to 12.
I mean, how many in total? Not just Cambridge. Let's say the PSC scholarship. What was the numbers?
100 over, I think.
100 over. So all different Ivy League universities.
In UK, it'll be Cambridge, Oxford, London, other universities as well.
So you're talking about your husband. What's his name?
Tony. Tony Tan.
Tony Tan.
Yes, I know what you're going to say.
No, I won't say that. Just that happen to share the same name. Right? Oh, so you all were classmates. Then he graduated so at the same time as you, or
yes, we're actually the same age. So we went in the same year and graduated the same year. So I was saying PSC organizes this camp, right? So for the same batch. So that's when we actually met each other. But yeah, didn't know each other very well until when we flew over. You know, they arranged for the scholars to take the same flight, and then after the plane landed in London, we had to take a 3-hour coach ride from London to Cambridge. Yeah, so we were seated next to each other on the coach, and then started talking.
You choose yourself, or it just happened?
No, it just happened to be seated together.
Destiny lah, you're supposed to be with him lah. Okay, let's look at the next photo you have. This was your...
That's my roommate when I was in Cambridge University.
Where is she from?
Yeah,
is she
yeah. She's Brit.
Oh,
British.
She's Brit?
Yeah, she's a Brit.
Lovely. And was she also on a scholarship like you?
Well, actually, you know, in UK, all the students actually receive funding from their government. So
oh, really?
Yeah, at that time.
Quite generous. In case you're wondering why I've got a different accent on, because we're trying to transport Hazel back to the UK. And oh wow, and what's her name?
Maria.
Are you still in touch with her?
No, we've lost touch.
I'm sure you can
over
reconnect with her. You
years.
look for her on Facebook or something. You probably get in touch with her. Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So she was your roommate. All the way through, you were roommates for the 3 years?
No, just for 1 year. In my first year. Yeah. In subsequent years, I was staying in a single unit. So this was a this was a double, so it was like 2 stories. I was staying upstairs. You can see the stairs behind, right? Yeah. So I was upstairs. She's downstairs.
She was below, like it's like a maisonette kind of double story.
That's right.
Then how you do a lot of cooking yourself? Or
Yes. Okay, for cooking, I do with another friend. Maria doesn't really cook.
Maria doesn't like Asian food, eh?
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, but they usually eat at the college hall. Where food
but
is provided.
your studio where you were saying it allowed you to cook, was there a little kitchenette? Or
something? There's a separate kitchen. So I was very close to another Malaysian friend. So
we was under Singapore scholarship also?
No. She was under Malaysian
scholarship.
Yes, Sam Darby, and so we did the cooking together.
Also a math person like you, or
no? She was doing net ski, so that chemistry and a bit of bio, I think.
So let's look at the next picture. Oh, that's a picture of you and your Lao Kong, is it?
Yes, that was graduation. Yeah, the graduation gown.
So after how long your graduation, then he proposed, Hazel, will you want to spend the rest of your life with me?
You know how they propose in Singapore, right?
Shall we apply for a HDB flat? Well, you're Singapore man, I cannot make it really. Oh, you always see all those meals and boons, those are so romantic lah. And then people try to come up with creative ways. They go to a restaurant, then got the menu, will you marry me? How come got such kind of food in the item? They try to be more creative. Singapore men are still... So that's the question, right? They will ask, right? Shall we apply for a HDB flat? So how long have you been married now?
27 years.
27 years.
Yeah, we got married rather early at the age of 23.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, that means, good lah. They want more people to marry younger so that they can have... So, how many kids do you have?
2 boys.
Also 2 also? No wonder the TFR never increased.
Sorry.
So, you got how many? What's your configuration? Boy, girl, what?
2 boys.
2 boys. And how old are they now?
12 and 13. Going on to 13 and 14.
Also, you all had children a bit late lah, in the sense that you got married young, but you didn't have your kids. Why, you all busy building your career, huh?
Yes. Well, actually, we had a problem having kids. The two sons now are adopted.
Oh, that's such a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing. I mean, local adoption or?
They were actually born in Malaysia. Yeah, then put up for adoption through. We got it through an agency.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you for sharing the information, which is very personal, right? So it doesn't matter, because it's like in this world, sometimes parents, they think it must be our own flesh and blood.
Yeah, to me it makes no difference.
Not necessary, if you have the heart is big enough, to take that kind of thing. Oh, I really admire you all for doing that kind of thing, you know. Let's see what's the next. Oh, that's your wedding photo.
Yeah.
All right, so where did you go for your honeymoon?
What honeymoon?
Huh? Married must go honeymoon, right?
Is it?
You don't have
no. During those days, we were...
Tony, you owe Hazel a belated honeymoon trip. How can you marry her and then 你放她，给了她便宜了。Never too late, never too late.
Well, during those days, we were like busy saving up for the first HDB flat. Actually, our first flat was a resale. So it was quite expensive for us then, just started, age 23.
Yeah. So then after you were bonded, then for 4 years you left. So it was Tony also bonded as well?
Yes, he
also
was bonded to SAF. So his was 12 year.
12 year bond.
No, 12 years, but it included the 3 years that he was studying.
Oh, okay. So that's 9 years.
So 9 years
so quite long
of service. Yes.
So he went back to the army.
Yes.
So is he still with the army or?
No, after he finished his bond, he left also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, lovely. Let's look at your next picture that you have coming. Oh,
yeah,
that's a lovely
the two
photo with your 2 boys. Oh, wow, wonderful. So they are in what? Should be in Sec 1 or
By
something?
now, they are at Sec 1, Sec 2.
Sec 1 and Sec 2. Which school are they in?
Hougang Secondary.
Hougang Secondary. So that's near to where you guys are?
Yes.
Okay? So, didn't send him to the father's old school. I mean, whichever school your husband was from.
No.
Which school was he from?
Victoria.
Victoria. Oh, okay lah. Neighborhood schools are just as good, huh? Don't have to travel all the way and then send too far away. Okay. Anyway, both of you are very brilliant, so I'm sure some of that will rub off on your kids,
Well, I think everybody have their own path.
Yeah, correct.
So,
as long as you nurture them, Okay, let's look at the next picture they have. Oh, that's a recent picture of you and not so recent.
Probably 10, 12 years ago.
Oh, okay. You look very 有夫妻相, they say.
Is it really?
I think you have lah. Okay, lovely. Let's look at the next picture that you have for us. Oh, yes, as we were mentioning earlier that you are not a newbie in the political scene. So
yes.
I'm just curious, and I'm sure our viewers are also curious to know. You took a rather unconventional way, right? In the sense that you, on the PSC scholarship, you went to Cambridge, you came back, then you broke your bond, you pay them back. And after you left the service, what did you do?
I think for me, I've never been afraid to try something new. And actually, that was the reason why I left the civil service. I actually rather enjoyed my 4 years in civil service. I was in the administrative service and I worked for 2 years in the Prime Minister's office, 2 years in
PMO,
wow. And then 2 years in the Ministry of Finance. And I really enjoyed it. It's not, I didn't leave because I didn't like my job, but I wanted to try something new.
Right.
Yeah, so I left and worked for 1 year in the private sector, and then I started my own business. So yeah, it took a few tries. I failed in my first 2.
It's okay. Failure is a part of success.
Yes, actually I learned a lot from those 2 failures, more than I learned in my 3rd one, which I managed to establish, and it's a business that I'm still running at the moment.
And what is that business?
Okay, so after I failed 2 businesses, right, I decided that I should make my passion my job, and that probably would give me a higher chance of success. So all the while, I have always enjoyed teaching. Even when I was working, ever since after A-levels, I've been giving part-time tuition all the time. So, and when I was working in civil service, also I was giving part-time tuition because I really enjoyed the interaction with the students, and I enjoyed it when I could make them understand a concept that previously baffled them, and see their self-esteem, self-confidence blossom when they find that, hey, yeah, actually I can handle this. Actually, it's quite easy.
You're not so stupid, right? Boost their self-esteem.
So I really enjoyed that process. So I decided, okay, why not I make this my job? So I started an education center, and then in the beginning it was really difficult because after 2 failed businesses, right, my finances were in quite dire straits. So yeah, at that time, at one stage I was getting rather panicky over it, but I move on. So I started the tuition center.
Miss Pao Ka Liao lah.
Yes, exactly. So I was working 7 days a week, and every day 17 hours. Yeah, so that lasted for about 2 years before it started to stabilize, and then I started being able to employ staff and so on. So now I'm okay. I've got 4 centers now and a private school.
What's the name of your center in case the viewers want to send their children to your centers?
Smart Lab.
Smart Lab.
Yeah, wow. Smart Lab Education.
But lab is like more chemistry and physics.
So yes, I assume
that you were teaching maths.
Yes, I taught mathematics. The center actually specializes in math and science. Yeah, so mainly in those two areas. So when we started, we also have at that time very few tuition centers actually had science lab. So we were one of the first to actually do it. So we have yes. So we had equipments, lab equipments, chemicals, and everything where the students
can. Ever happen? And then your face all darkened.
Very safe. Very safe.
Heaven forbid. You know those movies, right? They tend to do that. Crazy professor mix this chemical.
We have a lot of regulations that controls what kind of chemicals you can have, what you can do within the premises. Nothing and all that.
Okay. So you got 4 centers now.
Yeah. Great. Things have stabilized.
So how long has it been running already since you started?
Close to 20 years already.
20 years already? After 20 years, it's steady, pompipi already now.
Actually, my staff can know the drill already.
They know the drill. Okay, so you already, I would say that you're almost like an SME in a way, in the number of people you employ and things like this. So once again, the name
Smart
is?
Lab.
Smart Lab.
Yeah.
So I want to give us the telephone numbers. Anyway, go and Google it. It's called Smart, as in S-M-A-R-T, right?
Yes.
Then
lab
the next one is
laboratory.
The lab.
Yes, the lab.
So she teaches chemistry, physics, and also
mathematics. I teach only mathematics. Well, actually now I no longer teach but the center,
the business,
I'm running the business.
You want Hazel to teach but you probably got to pay different fees. And soon, okay, when you guys get into parliament, she really got no time to teach really. Can you remember the MP that time? You can meet her at the Meet the People session, and then you say, excuse me, Miss Phua, my son got this math problem, can help me? Oh, very interesting. So coming back to this photo. So what was the foray?
I used to be a PAP supporter. I really believe that they are doing a good job and for Singapore and all that. And my personal circumstances also helped because I took a government scholarship and then from my family wasn't really well off, right? You can see from the photos. And then after the scholarship, I got good jobs and all that. I'm grateful for what they have done in the past. I think the first incident was when HDB upgrading was linked to votes. Then to me it was blatantly putting national party interest ahead of Singaporean interest.
Correct.
So that's when I started feeling that something is not quite right. And and they justified it at that time, saying that we're a political party. This is normal. So I was thinking, okay, if you take care of your interests, then we as Singaporeans, we need to start taking care of our own interests also, right? And that means that we cannot, I felt that it means that we need to have an alternative rather than always a single party. So I started.
Political party you joined was which one?
I joined the Reform Party.
The one under Kenneth.
Yes.
Kenneth Gerard.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
One of the talking about Kenneth, right? Because I think he grew up in the UK, right?
Yes, he did.
So sometimes Singaporeans they do have some trouble trying to understand what he's trying to say because of his strong British accent. So sometimes they think that he's a put on. Why you must talk like that? Why you cannot talk more like Singaporean, right? So sometimes there's a disconnect. For him. I'm not against Kenneth, I'm just saying that that's the feedback I receive sometimes.
His accent is a bit
His accent
strong.
is a bit heavy, you know what I mean? So anyway, so then from Reform Party, you... when was the G that you took part in the first one for you?
The G was in 2011 that I participated in, and that was already under NSP. National Solidarity Party.
Who you joined first now? Reform Party?
I joined Reform Party first, but I left before the election.
Oh, okay.
And then joined NSP.
Oh, then you joined NSP. That was in 2011.
Yes.
For the
2011.
Your first rite of initiation.
Yes.
Baptism of fire, whatever they call it.
Right.
So then, where did you stood at that time under the NSP
Choa Chu Kang GRC.
Choa Chu Kang GRC. Was it under Gan Kim Yong then? Or?
Yes. At that time, Gan Kim Yong was the minister helming that GRC. It was It was a very, very interesting experience going through a GE. There's nothing quite like it. Yeah, I come through it with a very, very different perspective.
So Hazel, I have a few questions for you pertaining to why you enter politics and how's the journey. When you first decided to enter politics, right? Did you get like calls from friends? Hazel, are you siao or not? These sort of things happen?
Well, no, they didn't say whether I'm crazy, but they tell me that they have been interviewed.
You know what you're doing or not? You know, these sort of things. I mean, concerned friends lah, you know, family, friends, relatives, whatever. Was there?
Not really lah.
Not really,
yeah.
But they must either thought the gone case already lah.
I think they were very diplomatic.
yeah, but I'm sure there were some reservations, right? As you know how it is, the culture of fear that is so prevalent in Singapore, even until this very day. I have group chats with friends. Then the moment I happen to, they know that I'm now with PSP as a member also, right? Then I happen to talk, then suddenly you can hear the cricket in the background. Like so scared, like, well, the moment I see as though I'm aligning myself with something or talk about politics, then you get the knock on the door at 3 a.m. in the morning, tock, tock, tock. Someone come and arrest you, you know?
Well, actually, I think because my dad is friends with a group of people who have actually been rather supportive of oppositions all the while. So that's a bit of background.
Influence you in a way,
but
you were saying that it was because of the
it's because of the upgrading. Not really because.
So what else what other burning issues at that point in time?
And then that was the beginning when I started feeling that Singaporean interest is not first and foremost, and that we need an alternative. Then after that, I think I was rather concerned about the way we are growing our economy by importing in a lot of foreign workers, and then the casinos was something that I really, really disagreed with. Yeah, and that sort of strengthened my belief that we really need to offer Singaporeans an alternative.
So after with NSV in Choa Chu Kang, right? That was in 2011, right?
Yes.
So 2015, did you stand again? Or?
No. After 2011, due to health issues, I actually left NSP to recover lah, basically.
But then you became quite a household name, no? Like everyone talks about Hazel Pua, like they know that you are opposition.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, you are quite well known in the local context, you and then Nicosia, you know, the few of you, even though you all never got elected into parliament, but people remember you all, is it?
Yes, I was SecGen of NSP, so that provided a lot of media exposure. I was on newspapers, TVs, and so on. But
so you didn't take part in the 2015?
No, I did not.
And this now, for 2020, watch out world, Hazel Pua is coming back with a bang.
After I left politics, I was watching the developments, changes to the Elected Presidency Act. And then
some people say selected president, not elected president. Everyone was waiting for a chance to vote, but no chance they end up.
There were a lot of lawsuits against people who have a different opinion from the establishment. I was watching it and I felt that I shouldn't have left.
So when you saw that Dr. Tan Cheng Bock from PSP, you decided to he rekindled the fire in you again. I'm back, you know, like that Terminator, right? I'm back. Right. Hazel is back. Don't mess with me. All right, good for you that you have decided to make a comeback under the banner of PSP. And now you are the vice chairman, right?
Yes, I am.
Soon to be chairman. It doesn't matter. Anyway, those are just roles that you all do. And all of you are contributing towards the party. Right?
The title is not important.
Yeah, correct. But I'm sure you are curious to know where she's going to be standing, right? But of course, for this interview, we cannot reveal it because very sensitive. In time to come, it will be revealed, where you will be contesting.
Yeah,
and I wish you all the very best. So after this, what's happening? What's the next picture you have? This was you at the party launch.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I remember that. That was her. You can see the words in the backdrop is Untuk Negara, Untuk Rakyat. That means for country, for people. That's the tagline of
PSP.
For PSP. Yeah, and I made fun of her name, you know, because that time at the launch, I say, I think of a nut. Hazel, because
yeah,
hazelnut,
thanks a lot. Yeah, my children really enjoyed that.
Okay. It was a fun thing. Any other pictures that we have lined up there, or are we at the end? This one. Wow. there was a big gathering of, what was this occasion actually? Was it like National Day or something or what? This was at Dr. Tan Cheng Bok's house,
yes,
right?
National Day at Dr. Tan's house.
Oh, okay. And if you can zoom in now, you can see I'm not invited, but it's okay. So anyway, they could only accommodate so many people, and I would have taken up a lot of space. Okay, so Hazel, I'd like to thank you very much for coming into the studio today and to share with us some snippets of information, about your journey in life so far. And I really wish you and all your PSP colleagues all the best in this coming general election, which there's so many rumors swirling around that it will be happening soon, right? But whether it happens in July, happens in September, I think you all are gearing up, right, to do your best and represent Singapore. And if just for the benefit of our viewers, I think one of the goals is, as mentioned by Dr. Tan Cheng Bok, is you all are not looking for a revolution, right?
Yes.
You are looking for, what's the word?
Evolution, not
evolution.
Yes.
Evolution means change.
Slowly.
Change the status quo and all these things. And what is the other thing I recall was Dr. Tan has ever mentioned, Tan Cheng Bok has mentioned that you all are trying to deny the incumbent two-thirds majority. And maybe you can share with our viewers what is the reason for that strategy to deny that?
Okay, actually in Parliament, there are different changes to the law that you can make, right? So it is divided, there are two different types. One is to normal law, one is to constitutional law. So for normal laws, you need only majority, simple majority, which means more than 50% of the votes in order to pass the bill. But for constitutional changes, you actually need a 2/3 majority to vote for it before it can be changed. So if we deny them the 2/3 majority, that means if opposition can get more than 1/3 of the seats,
that would be how many for this coming GE? I heard the figure banded around was what, at least 32 seats?
Yes, correct. Yeah,
so,
we need
is it just PSP alone must be 32 or
no,
together with
as
the
long
other?
as all the opposition parties together combined gets more than 32 seats, then it won't be so easy to amend constitution.
It means it won't be just business as usual for the incumbent. They just suka change the law, change it.
Yes. So for them, they can still pass normal bills, like changes to the tax, anything else except constitutional changes. So constitutional changes are like changes to the elected president act. Changes to the way elections are held, changes to the structure of the government.
Right.
Yeah.
So that means those things that really impact us are the important ones.
Yeah, the
they
whole
cannot just
structure
change
of
as
the
they
government.
like.
Yes,
so there will be more active debate.
Correct.
Instead of finding sometimes you ever see TV telecast, right? Some of them are sleeping, snoring and all this. I really look forward to the day when you guys are there, and then debate in Parliament will be very, very lively, and views of Singaporeans will be put forward instead of just like I still remember that time one of the ministers, right, apparently a slip of the tongue when she was still the Speaker of Parliament, right, called her Madam President. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have said that. She's like, hello, not so nice, you think you're stupid, is it?
I'm also looking forward to the day when you are in Parliament.
Me, no, I'm only a comedian. I make people laugh. If I tell them I stand for election, people say, look, Cinebo. It'll be a joke anyway. So I wish you all the best. And really go ahead and be the trailblazer and bring about the kind of changes so that the status quo is not maintained and things will happen. But sometimes, just to end this off, right, sometimes people have the idea, the fear that when you're coming, you are going to destroy Singapore. Crazy, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but why would you want to do that? So Hazel, thank you once again for coming into the studio with me today and sharing with us your personal information and then your journey so far in politics. And I really hope that you guys will make your entrance into Parliament and change the perception that you're not here to destroy anything but to actually add diversity to the debate and do good for Singapore.
We will do our best.
So anything you want to say to our audience before we go out, or just say bye-bye? Okay, anyway, thank you very much to all the viewers who have joined us. Until the next time when we bring another PSP member into the studio for us to conduct the one-to-one interview. So bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.